Challenge Cup has a history. At the end of the season, Pro 2s, Pro 4s face off together, but it's really bragging rights.
It's a gamble, but you definitely throw down and gamble all you have for a cup race. It's not $2,000, it's 30 G's, and that's a lot of money.
When you say Challenge Cup, to me, I think of the Indy 500 of off-road. And if you could have the Challenge Cup and sitting in your trophy room, I mean, I think that means a lot.
Challenge Cup's all about the battle. My name on that trophy, that's going to be there for a long time.
There's a beautiful breeze blowing in Southern California, but there is tension in the air here with the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. This telecast is brought to you by General Tire. Welcome to the Lucas Oil Challenge Cup, presented by General Tire. Ken Stout and Cameron Steele to call the action for you, and we are excited. Pro 2s and Pro 4s in the house, but unlike previous races, they will all be on the track at the same time, gunning for that $30,000. Let's talk about the players inside of this field. Cam, as you well know, they are second to none. How about 10 former and current champions that account for 45 championships here in short course? You add them all together, just in the top 7 of Pro 4 alone, it's over 260 race wins. It is incredible, the level of talent. We do have 7 of the top 10 of all time in Pro 4 that are out here. It is amazing the level of talent we have, and also in Pro 2 as well. So it's going to be a dogfight.
I absolutely agree. Now, of course, the two-wheel drives will start in front with the stagger start to the four-wheel drives. The interesting part, though, is that all these drivers believe they can win. It doesn't matter which one of them. All these champions believe they can beat the next guy, which means they're going to take as much risk as it takes to shove a nose in, to maybe take a risky line, to send it off a jump sideways. And we're talking about jumps in Lake Elsinore where the double step up in the back will make your hair stand up on end, and then you get to the tabletop in the middle. Well, it's 150 feet just to get to the downside. We're not messing around here for the Challenge Cup. Huge horsepower, huge turnout, tons of champions, and a track. It is something to be reckoned with.
Well, you said it perfectly. When you talk about all the champions that are in this category and then you put them on this track, it is going to be wild. Take us for a ride around here, Cam. This place is exciting. As we take a look at the Pro 4s, of course, being led by the KMC Wheels Toyota Tundra Pace Truck. Let's get you up to speed on some of the stories. Brian Deegan, a 6-time champ, 3 in Pro Light, 3 in Pro 2, but has decided to race the Pro 4, and rightfully so. They are a quicker vehicle. How about Kyle LeDuc? He's a 3-time champ, and of course 11 wins on the season. He will contend, as he is also a former Challenge Cup winner, much like Brian Deegan. Carl Renesetter, a 2-time Challenge Cup winner, but he'll be in the Pro 2. The 9-time champ's going to try to get it done. And Rob Naughton filling in for Trevor Cooper. Trevor Cooper was to start on the pole, but now that Rob Naughton is filling in, he'll go to the tail end of the Pro 2 field. All right, we have a lot of great stories that are inside of this race as you take a look at Brian Deegan in that Pro 4, and to kick it off between our 2 pit reporters will be Rob Klepper.
Well, thank you guys as we get set for a very exciting night of racing here in Challenge Cup competition. How about Mr. Brian Deegan, defending winner of the Challenge Cup, recently crowned Pro 2 champion, deciding to go with the Pro 4. The problem with that is he'll have to start deep, outside row number 12 in the 24th position. Deegan told me the plan is simple. Be smart, be smooth, slowly work your way to the front, and stay out of trouble. Easier said than done. With 5 laps to go, he said, it's go time. Deegan is trying to become the first driver to ever win back-to-back Challenge Cups if he can get it done here this evening. He's starting deep. It's going to be fun to watch him race to the front. Carl Renesetter, he'll only have 2 wheels digging. He's starting closer to the front. For more on him, let's go to Aaron Bates.
Thanks very much, Rob. Because of the damage that was done to Carl Renesetter's Pro 4 truck at round 14, he is forced to race tonight's Challenge Cup in his Pro 2. He knows that the truck is fast, but it's going to boil down to reliability, but the team feels that they've conquered that issue after he won his first race of the season here at Lake Elsinore. Carl is the only driver to have won the Challenge Cup twice, but both those wins happen to be in a Pro 4. His goal tonight is to be the first Pro 2 to cross the finish line. Guys, let's see if we can pull this off. Take it away.
Thanks a lot, both Rob and Aaron. Great job there on those stories. There'll be plenty more developing. Well, as you know now, this is a huge race for everybody, but we thought we'd spend some time with the drivers themselves and find out exactly what this race means to them and find out just how badly they'd like to win it.
In the 2013 Challenge Cup, you know, we went from the back to the front to the front to the back. There was just a lot of chaos going on. There was a lot of giving and a lot of taking. Rubbin's racing in this sport. You know, I don't think wrecking is racing, and that does happen every once in a while.
I couldn't get around Robbie Woods. I'm like, man, I gotta make a move, and I didn't want to punk him. I didn't want to stuff him. And really, I was like, he's probably gonna win this thing, and unless he makes a mistake. And next thing you know, Barron just goes, bam, blows into me, pushes me off the big jump.
That's really dangerous, by the way.
Really sketchy move there by Barron.
And I started getting mad. I'm like, all right, dude. And then I just let him get, here he goes, barrels into Robbie and pushes him up the track.
Woods down to the bottom to
Closes
try and
the
protect.
door.
Oh!
Woods with a little bit of a mistake there.
Robbie over-rotated for sure. I hit him. I don't know how hard I actually hit him, but I thought it was a pretty clean deal.
You know, he goes on to finish, and I thought, all right, well, I got around Robbie. That was my final, all right, here's my chance. And I got around Robbie, tried to run me, basically dirtied me, and I was like, bro, I didn't dirty you the whole race. I should have just dogged you right off the bat.
I think a lot of things led up to that. It wasn't just that got me the black flag. I think there was some other roughness that I had received, and then also maybe that I have given.
Barron, you know, ended up getting black flagged, and I think it had to do with a lot more stuff that went down during the race of him just bulldozing everyone. But what it showed me was a Pro 4 can come from last twice and still win that race. Looking back, I'm just stoked my name got on that.
Welcome back to the Lucas Oil Off-Road Challenge Cup, presented by General Tire. $30,000 on the line, the last race of the 2014 season, and it is a big one.
For sure. It's the only time of the year we see the two-wheel drives and four-wheel drives all on the track at the same time. There's no championship on the line, just bragging rights and big money, which usually means risk-taking, smashing into each other, anger, all kinds of good stuff. And starting right up on the pole, Marty Hart next to Robbie Woods. Why not? Let's put the excitement right up front. Then Mayan Spaccarelli and Rodrigo Ampudia out of row 2, and then 7-time Supercross champion Jeremy McGrath and Patrick Clark out of row 3. Then RJ Anderson and 9-time champion Carl Renesetter coming from row number 4.
In row 5 and around out the Pro 2s, Bryce Menzies and Nick Tyree, and then Rob Naughton, as we talked about, filling in for Trevor Cooper. All right, let's talk about the Pro 4s here. Speaking of excitement, Eric Barron will kick things off for them alongside Corey Weller, Brandon Bailey, and Jerry Doherty. In row 8, Todd LeDuc and Doug Fortin in row 9, and Greg Adler and Ricky Johnson in row 10.
And if that's not enough, how about Rob McCachran and Kyle LeDuc coming from row number 11? Brian Deegan, and welcome Johnny Greaves to row number 12, and then the youngster of the Greaves family from row number 13 alongside Kurt LeDuc. And the KMC Wheels Pace Truck is off, which means it's time to disco, people.
Such a big decision for Brian Deegan to go with that Pro 4 and not being in the points, starting almost dead last in the race here tonight. He's a lot of work to do to get up to the front where these guys are. All right, green flag, here we go. Marty Hart and Robbie Woods leads everybody. You can see the Pro 4s back there and just coming out of turn number 2.
So everybody takes the green at the same time. It's just staggered. Now they have to do 2 clean laps before a restart would put them all back together. And right now, though, it's the Maxxis Ready Lift number 15 of Marty Hart up front leading the Challenge Cup.
So good to see Marty Hart back on his game. He's been up inside of the top 5 as of late. Change that front end back around, and we have the old Marty Hart back inside of that truck. On board with Eric Barron, a nice split screen. Here's your leader for the Pro 4s, a little bit deeper in the field, obviously, with a lot of real estate to make up. Great to have him and that Toyota back out here. By the way, a full sponsorship with Toyota and Tonka for 2015.
Well, we look forward to next year, but right now it's go time at the Challenge Cup. And Rodrigo Ampudia, who's had a couple good runs in that new truck towards the end of the season, sitting in 3rd position. The question is, how soon can the 4-wheel drives catch up, and is it enough time in 16 laps? I believe it's going to be 4-wheel drives making it happen here at the end, as the 99 General Tire Carlisle Tools sponsored Robbie Woods is trying to make his way by Marty Hart. And I don't think they have a great friendship, but they are exciting to watch on the track. And Bryce Menzies is hung up.
Bit of a mistake there, stuck his nose down in there, trying to push his way through, and it looked like it cost him up on the K-rails to go on board with Bryce. Not happy there. Look out, man. Don't go waking up Frank. Be in trouble. All right, let's get it over to Rob Klubber with more.
Guys, it looks like Eric Barron on a mission here tonight in this year's Challenge Cup. You go back to 2013, of course, he won round 15 here at Lake Elsinore. All but had the win in the Challenge Cup. The black flag came out. He said, you know, I got a little thing to prove here tonight. We changed the engine, we changed the transmission, we're ready to rock. And with his traditional smile, he said, I think I got a shot.
Yeah, just to tag to that, all but won it. I mean, he did win it, but then they took it away. So it was definitely a controversial call and a moment for sure. And Eric Barron would love to get even with that deal. 30,000 in your hand, and they slid it out.
A great dogfight up front in the two-wheel drive class. The four-wheel drives, though, however, are coming. The blue and white, that's Fortin. That's McCackern on the inside, and then Kyle LeDuc, the number 99 Monster Energy all black sponsored truck.
Unbelievable.
Just throws it in sideways right between a couple. I saw a quick rollover there in turn 2, and that is Brandon Bailey, and that is never good to have onboard fire.
Yeah, the exhaust is right there as well. If you can get it started, you might be able to suck that fire back out, but it looks like it's roasting in there pretty good. See if we can find out what went on.
Just a tumble down the inside. I don't know if he had help or not, but you can see it back in the shot there. Here it is from on board all by himself.
Hooked a rut down in there. Truck's all loaded up.
The MAV TV Solar World, number 72. And it looks like Brandon might be getting out of the truck. Not sure.
Such a great racing family. Of course, Brandon's an awesome guy. His father, Scott Bailey, owner of Stronghold. Some fluid there right in front of that left front tire. So whatever's happened there, it looks like it's going to eliminate him from the contest here. Well, the caution flag is out. That will bunch everybody back up. The Pro 4s will now close up behind the Pro 2s, and game on. Marty Hart, Robbie Woods will have to be digging hard because the rest of the pack will be coming up behind them. Stay with us. Welcome back to Lake Elsinore Motorsports Park. Excitement is in the air here at the Lucas Oil Off-Road Challenge Cup presented by General Tire. Pro 2s against Pro 4s, and now with this caution flag, the Pro 4s will close up the gap. I think in the future it would be a good idea to actually create that gap, two different pace trucks, and make that gap remain what it was when we had the caution flag, especially early on in a race like this.
I agree, but boy, is it going to be exciting having them all bunched up as we go restart.
Marty Hart stands on the gas. Robbie Woods right behind him. Rodrigo, Jeremy McGrath, and here come the Pro 4s.
Now, chaos can ensue as we have them all bunched up. We'll see what happens, but everybody keeping it pretty clean so far.
Eric Barron coming up on the inside of the Pro 2s, and that's what the Pro 4s will do. They can run right down on the bottom and dig out. You can see Barron back there, the white truck with the red stripe down the middle, underneath the yellow truck of Mayan Spaccarelli, as he just starts picking his way through. Oh man, they all bunch up down in there with the Pro 4s.
New leader, Robbie Woods and Rodrigo on podium, the number 36. Papas and Beer, Lucas Oil sponsor truck, going to make his way into second. You have to wonder if there's not a problem with Marty Hart, as it looks like RJ Anderson in the black, gray, and red truck is also going to get by.
There's a look off of Jeremy McGrath's truck back at Carl Renazetter in the Pro 2. He had trouble with the Pro 4. He had a vicious wreck on Friday night in the Pro 4, but it was not running properly at the time, so they scrapped it and went with the Pro 2.
Marty Hart.
I agree. Marty Hart has something wrong with the truck.
He's going backwards and he's staying outside. I think he's acquiescing the spots at this point.
Whoa, and that's how you air one out. Kyle LeDuc is going to work, and he's already picking around up here in the top 5 or 6 of the Pro 2.
So LeDuc has gotten by Eric Barron. Now he's making his way through the Pro 2s, bullying his way down the bottom. A little bit of contact
with Carl, and Carl bunches everybody up because of that contact.
Oh, and that's going to put at least one of the Greaves trucks back there as well.
Yeah, Carl did nothing wrong there. He just took a door from Kyle, who was backing it in hard. And RJ gets collected up. Eric Barron, Doug Fortin, and Brian Deegan also in that pile.
Yeah, it looked like CJ Greaves as well. So we'll see what happens here. The two-wheel drive still leading. But the problem is the shark is coming. He is hunting, and that is him right there. The 5th truck on the road right now is Kyle LeDuc, who has been well documented, won the Pro 4 Championship. He won in Crandon this year. He's won 11 races inside the Lucas Oil Series. There's almost nothing that can stop him, and I have a feeling that these 3 Pro 2s still in front of him are not going to be a factor before long.
He has just been so exciting to watch. A Monster Energy back machine, really digging hard, manually shifted truck, big horsepower underneath the hood. Billy Schleifer keeping that thing running good all year long, and Robbie Woods, if he's got anything inside of that thing, he better be going now.
Now the Pro 2s have to run a little bit of a wider line to carry the speed. Now they can protect it around the bottom, but to run the fast line, they have to be able to flow through the corner, where the Pro 2 can back it in much harder, rotate down on the bottom, and get the acceleration, get that traction to the ground with the four wheels digging. And there's a perfect example of it. He's down the bottom, the 2-wheel drives are outside just a little bit more to carry that momentum or the speed, and he makes quick work of RJ Anderson. 2 trucks to go for LeDuc, and we got some kind of circus going on back here.
That's Challenge Cup craziness right there.
At some point you got to ask if there might be some metal hangers in that fiberglass. Let's take another look. It definitely looks like Renazetter has a problem there. And Deegan gets turned around by Rob Naughton. Ricky Johnson involved. Fortin underneath Ricky Johnson.
Carl Renazetter just sitting there looking at all of it like, I can't go anywhere.
And so now Kyle going to the outside. Watch him carve from the outside to the bottom. The 2 lead trucks make contact. They make it easy for the 99. Right to the front.
He says, thank you guys very much. Rodrigo and Robbie Woods both getting together there in that last turn. That opened up the bottom, and Kyle LeDuc said, yep, thank you very much. See you guys.
Well, sometimes you get so short-sighted by the race you're directly involved with, the truck that you're battling side by side with. You lose track of what's going on around you. So, you know, in that case, they got together, made contact, slowed each other down, and they let the Pro 4 go right by. Here it is. Let's take another look. Robbie Woods goes to the bottom, makes contact, pushes them both to the outside, and Kyle LeDuc is just a benefactor there.
As we go back to the racing action here, Jeremy McGrath now dealing with a charging Eric Barron in that Pro 4. McGrath, as a new team owner this year, really did a nice job putting everything together, and a good solid effort here in 2014. Robbie Woods to the outside, a little contact with the berm, 3 wide at the bottom, and he actually turned RJ and then straightened RJ back up.
And all in the process, the LAT Oils Toyota Tundra gets right on by. The question is, can Barron catch up and make it a race with Kyle LeDuc? I'm going to say probably not, because Barron hasn't been at all the races, and you got to get back up to that speed and momentum, so to speak, of all-out warfare, although you can never count Barron out. He is so exciting to watch.
I couldn't agree more, and with more on that, let's get it down to Rob Clipper.
Guys, how about that Pappas and Bear Lucas Oil number 36 of Rodrigo Ampudia, the Pro 2, leading the way, trying to battle with these Pro 4s. Remember, $1,000 up for grabs for the highest finishing driver of the opposite class that wins the Challenge Cup. So Kyle LeDuc holds on and gets the win, taking the 30 grand, an extra G in it for the 36 of Rodrigo Ampudia. He ran 4th in 2009. He ran 5th last year in Challenge Club competition. So Ampudia certainly got it going on.
Well, Rodrigo came out with a new truck, finally got that thing up and running this year as Barron does get down underneath him. They scrapped the old truck that weighed some 4,600 pounds, and this new truck now is starting to pay dividends as he's worked his way back up to the front of the field.
I'm impressed with Ampudia, and he's one of those guys that's mild-mannered by day, and you put on the race suit. Man, talk about Jekyll and Hyde. Oh, wow, big explosion. Big fiery explosion. Is that McGrath's truck, the Loctite sponsored number 2? Looks like it may have spit out a transmission right there.
Yeah, you can see a lot of fluid as well, and yep, there's a flame down in the center of the truck. That's a good call, Cam.
Jeremy's all, I'm out of here.
Roll tonight. Max's tire back machine as well, and go on board with him. A huge fireball.
I think I might have saw the drive shaft spit out of it too. I saw something go flying out in the back. And a tough break. That's not a good way to end it with smoke and fire extinguisher coming from underneath that truck, but
you've been part of those transmission explosions before. They are scary.
Absolutely. My navigator Cody almost lost his leg with metal fragments going into him out of a transmission explosion, so it is a very gnarly situation.
Well, guess what? That will close up Eric Barron right on the back bumper of Kyle LeDuc, and if you're not familiar with that rivalry, well, we will introduce you to it when we get things restarted, because that one has been vicious for a couple of years now. Everybody on their feet. It will be a great time once we get them restarted here. They're still scratching for $30,000, and Kyle LeDuc is out front. Here's a look at the top 5, followed by LeDuc and Barron is Rodrigo and Pudi on the Pro 2, RJ Anderson and Robbie Woods. Welcome back to the Lucas Oil Off-Road Challenge Cup presented by General Tire here at Lake Elsinore Motorsports Park. We have 2 Pro 4s out front and 3 Pro 2s. Before we get them restarted, though, let's check in with Rob Klepper. He's down with Patrick Clark.
Hey guys, the caution coming out for the number 2 of Jeremy McGrath, the drive shaft coming out, then a little fire out there. Also a little fire on the 25. We saw the right rear was down, you stopped, and then all the fire extinguishers came out. Are you okay? And what happened, man?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we didn't start the Challenge Cup the way we wanted. We dropped the cylinder, we just figured we could hang in there until the force caught us, and then after that, the tire went flat. I figured I'd limp it around so I can get that lap. We could change the tire, but it took out the brake lines. Car on fire, I didn't know, and then everyone's panicking, running around, so it's all good, I'm fine, and I can enjoy it from the pits.
They sling the green flag, and we are racing again. Kyle gets a great restart, but Eric Barron is right there.
This could get exciting really fast. Those 2 Pro 4s love to get into it, and it's rutting up quite a bit.
Yeah,
you can see them undulating through turn 2. So they're going to have to pick their lines carefully as we have lots of contact. Jerry Doherty and Nick Tyree. And the 91 of Tyree there should be able to get himself righted, so I don't think a caution will come out.
I think that was CJ Greaves that just made a big save right there in the middle of the rhythm section. On board with CJ. CJ, a young talent, son of Johnny Greaves. So good behind the wheel. Picked up his first Pro 2 championship already. He has a bright future now, of course, inside of the Pro 4s. Run a couple of races inside of the Pro 4, and no doubt will spend all of 2015 in one.
A very exciting driver, you know, really well put together for a young man. As we see Rob McCachran going to the inside, flexing a bit in the Rockstar Energy Makita sponsored number 21.
He went right by CJ and RJ Anderson in one swoop. CJ now trying to get underneath RJ Anderson. RJ Anderson just getting mauled by the Pro 4.
Fiberglass flying everywhere.
He's like, got me out of the middle, man. Beautiful move out of that 21 truck. Once again, down on the bottom, drives underneath Rodrigo and Pudi, the first Pro 2 truck.
And Pudi would like to keep it on the podium for more bonus money, but not able to do so now. He's out. It looks like something has broken, possibly the steering, as he is wedged up against the wall in the number 36.
Yeah, he's into the wall. It's turned into the wall. Obviously, you can't bring it back, so something, the suspension breaking there. As you take a look at Kyle LeDuc pitching it in there, and yes, Eric Barron is hanging right there with him. Screaming Toyota that had a violent wreck here earlier in the year. You can hear it, man. It sounds so sweet. TRD prepared power plant. Caution flag's going to come back out. That'll group them back up. Some of the Pro 4s will be even closer now. And that's because Rodrigo's truck is inoperable. Cannot get it out of the way.
It's definitely stuck in a bad position for safety, but then on top of that, it looks like he's got smoke. As the safety crew comes over to check it out. Let's take a look. McCachran goes down to the bottom, and there is a little bit of contact there. You know, hard to say that could hurt the steering, but let's take a look as he gets into that corner. It looks like the truck just shuts off. It doesn't necessarily look like it's steering. It just something happened to the truck, and it is off. From Ensenada, Baja California, his family owns Papas and Beer. A great spot there in the port town of Ensenada, and just an all-around good guy and a leader in our sport.
Yeah, the entire family, just exceptional people, and you will not find better carne asada in the pits than his pits. All right, the crowd standing on their feet. In fact, standing room only. This place is packed, and rightfully so. So much excitement here. We've been receiving text messages up here in the booth all night long about it's the greatest race they've ever seen. A lot of people here coming out to watch their first short course off-road race, and this race will ruin you.
Speaking of ruin you, does anybody have a chance at ruining Kyle LeDuc's night? I mean, we have all the big Pro 4s right up there towards the front now. Anybody got any snot for him?
Why, I don't know of anybody that has anything for him, with the exception of Eric Barron, who's been hanging the past couple of laps. We'll see if he can turn it up a notch. The rest of the players, though, want that 30 grand, and they're all going to be digging hard when we come back. Once again, welcome back to the Lucas Oil Off-Road Challenge Cup presented by General Tire. We're getting down to the final laps here of the contest. A lot of Pro 4s now up in the front of the pack. Let's get it down to Rob Klepper. He is with Rodrigo Ampudia, the reason for our caution flag.
Guys, Rodrigo Ampudia, looked like you had a good truck here tonight, man. Pro 2 holding off a lot of the Pro 4s. The rest of the Pro 2 field, what happened?
I think I lost the power steering pump. We had issues with it. We swapped it before the race, and I lost power steering, and then I saw a flash fire, so I got out of the truck.
Yeah, tough break for Rodrigo, and these things are undrivable without power steering. All right, they wait for the cone zone, and Kyle hits it. CJ, with a good restart, dives down to the bottom to pick up a spot on Rob McCaffrey. Side by side, they go down the back straightaway. Little contact. Here comes Eric Barron up on the outside of Kyle LeDuc.
Dropping it. Woo! Looked like he was going to try to set it up to go outside in, but Kyle had to slide through those ruts.
Kyle just flicked it in. I mean, completely backed it in. That is throwing caution to the wind, and the horns will come out here for Eric Barron. I mean, he can get up on the wheel. He has proved it many times. I don't know if he has anything for Kyle LeDuc this year, though. 11 wins for Kyle LeDuc in this series, a couple of Crandon as well. 13 working on the season, 14 with putting one behind the all-time great and leader, Rick Huseman.
Ricky Johnson, the number 48. This is his last drive in the Red Bull Menzies Motorsports number 48. And he is trying to battle for that podium. He is neck and neck with young CJ Greaves going back and forth as RJ goes to the bottom once again. We'll see if he can make it work.
Keep in mind, Ricky Johnson and Johnny Greaves had a vicious rivalry for a couple of years in the Midwest Series, and there's a little punt right there in the back to say, I'm right here with you.
Well, what I really liked about that move, the way Ricky did that, whether it was on purpose or not, he hit him square in the back, didn't unsettle him, but pushed him a little deeper into the corner, maybe opening up that bottom line. As the white flag comes out, RJ looking to get into that third place and assert himself to keep it.
Outside, inside move for RJ. Now CJ is going to try the same thing. Outside, inside. Oh, goes up, and I would say that one had a little more intent to it.
A little bit there.
Boy, here we go. Getting a little ugly.
A different Greaves, but same result. Johnson on Greaves, and CJ. Nice. CJ opens the door. RJ goes on the bottom.
Oh, here we go. And a scary moment. The biggest jump on the track. And RJ feeds him a wheel and says, if you want to pick a fight, I'm all about it. Man, what a scary moment right there.
And meantime, Kyle LeDuc going to take home the Challenge Cup and 30 grand.
Kyle LeDuc picks up his second Challenge Cup. Eric Barron right behind him. And it's going to be RJ that hangs on to the final podium position. CJ scrapping hard right at the very end. A young talent inside of the Pro 4 category, and yes, no shortage of fireworks. Wow. Exactly what we've come to expect here in this race. All right, there's a look at the final results as Kyle is up top once again. He makes it 14 wins in the 2014 season, one short of Rick Huseman, who stands atop that list at 15. Eric Barron, Ricky Johnson, CJ Greaves, Todd LeDuc with a great run, ends up inside of the top 5. That'll certainly make him feel better about that 2014 season. And look at that crowd treated to an incredible race.
And, I mean, hats off to Kyle LeDuc, Eric Barron, and Ricky Johnson. I mean, I'm not sure where Ricky's going from here, but he has proven time and again this year that he is one bad dude. And speaking of bad dudes, Kyle LeDuc, holy wow.
So impressive to watch him behind the wheel of that Monster Energy Pack number 99 truck. Toyo tires have been fantastic for him all season long, and it doesn't matter who it is or where they show up. When he is in the field, he has proved that he can not only beat them, but he can shred them. I mean, that truck has been incredible all of 2014. When we come back here to Lake Elsinore Motorsports Park, we will talk. A crazy race here at the Lucas Oil Off-Road Challenge Cup presented by General Tire. Exactly what you expect when it comes to $30,000. The winner, Kyle LeDuc. We'll talk to him in just a moment, but before we do that, we're going to show you how he got there. An exciting pass for the lead, and you can see his wife, and of course, baby, his son, actually down there as well, waiting for him to get out of the truck. While he's getting out of the truck, let's recap what happened here, because this race is always the most exciting race of the season.
This is the pass for the lead, and basically he was setting these two trucks up, and they helped him out. Robbie Woods and Rodrigo Ampudio got into it, and Kyle LeDuc just went wide and down the inside to get to the front.
That's how you cap off a season. His second Cup win of the year. It just recaps everything, and here comes Eric Barron to join him. Nice stuff. All right, let's talk to him.
All smiles for Kyle LeDuc. It has been 4 years since his last Challenge Cup win. This has got to feel good. But Kyle, you started so far deep in the back of the field. You worked your way all the way to the front of the pack. How hard is it to show patience when there's $30,000 up for grabs?
I'm pretty sure I showed zero patience. It was a little chaotic in the beginning, and I kind of got over my head, so I turned it way down, and things started to change. I got too much into Cup mode, and I don't know, we took some advantages of some restarts, you know, and the one guy I think I rubbed a little hard was Carl, so I do apologize for that, Carl, if we got hard, but man, it's just unbelievable, dude. The truck is so fast on a straight line. Like, I was very nice with the Pro 2s because they're in a battle of their own, so I was being smart with Woods and all these guys, and that was pretty cool, man. It was, I literally don't remember half of it, so it was just live in the moment, race a Cup race for 30 G's. Eric Barron was up there, you know, giving me a run for my money, you know, and he was smart, he did good. You know, he paid me a little respect and drove me like a race car driver, so it was good, and it's just unbelievable for this whole team to end it on a high like this, and to drop 30K in my team, everybody. We're going to have some stupid fun activities after this weekend, just because we deserve it, and every person that's on my suit, from Ultra Wheels to Monster to Toyo, they're the people that believe in me, and I really hope tonight prove that I don't mess around and I go for wins no matter what.
Definitely, you showed that you were racing on rails out there tonight, but Kyle, all the chaos that's going on around you, how do you manage to keep track of it all?
Yeah, good question. There's no planning for a Cup race. There's really no planning for a lot of things, but you just have to live in the moment and be super precise in the moment and react to what's happening and just go wide open. It's a truck that loves to be wide open, and I love giving it full throttle, baby.
What a finish for Kyle LeDuc. Congratulations, walking away your Challenge Cup winner here tonight. $30,000 in his pocket, guys.
Completes a dominating season where he just took all comers to school. It was a great night of racing, and it wouldn't have been so epic if it wasn't for Eric Barron, who made a challenge out of it for sure. Finishing in second place is the first runner-up, but for someone who has been out of racing after a huge crash, it's got to feel good. Let's get down and hear from him.
Eric Barron giving Kyle LeDuc a run for his money out there tonight. Congratulations to you, Eric. You've always been fast here at this track, but you've also had a spectacular crash. What does it mean to you to finish out this season up here on the podium?
You know, I'm just so happy to be up here. It means a ton. My family, I love my family so much. My wife, my kids, my mom and dad, all my crew. I can't thank all of them enough, you know. We have LAT Oil going to be helping us next year. Got Toyota Tundra, Mickey Thompson. Whew, all these guys are just back behind us. But you know what, I'm speechless right now because this feels like a win. We've changed the whole drivetrain yesterday trying to win a race. And my guys stayed. We changed everything, all new stuff. Put a new Toyota Tundra engine in it, came out. Almost had him, but guess what? There's next season. Tune in.
So close. What a finish. Eric Barron finishing up that runner-up position. $15,000 in his pocket as well, guys.
And we are looking forward to next season, of course. And how about Ricky Johnson? So exciting all the time. Such a talented driver on the podium for the 8th time this year. And certainly made that last lap exciting with CJ. Let's talk to him.
A battle for Rick Johnson all the way down to the checkered flag. You had some company with CJ Greaves. You managed to keep him honest as well, but you looked like you were having so much fun out there, Rick. What is it like to be a racer in those kind of conditions?
I have to say it was awesome. This is my last race for Menzies Motorsports, so if I get a little choked up, I'm sorry about that, but this is the way it's supposed to be. Racing hard, going banging back and forth. After the race, we're flipping each other off back and forth, pissed off. He thinks I did him wrong. I think he did me wrong, but it was a great race. And so congratulations to our champion, Kyle LeDuc. He's been doing it all year long, so he deserves to win this. Eric Barron had a big flip earlier this year. It's awesome to see him come back, and one of the young guns, RJ Anderson, being the top Pro 2. So it played into the hands of Pro 4, but I'm so stoked to be in a fight. I just love being in a battle. I have no front bumper. I have a couple fenders left, but it was just awesome. So I want to thank the people from Lucas Oil for putting this on. It was a great weekend. But Red Bull, KMC, BF Goodrich, Discount Tire, and my whole family and the Menzies family, thank you. I love you. RJ out.
Ricky Johnson, an emotional moment. Congratulations on walking away here with the podium finish.
Definitely. Not quite sure where Ricky's going to go from here, but man, he has laid down a trail and blazed it for many to follow. Hats off to him. Let's get it down here from the first Pro 2.
What a performance for RJ Anderson. He's the first Pro 2 truck to cross that finish line. This one's got to feel good, RJ.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when you look at my truck, there's not much left in it. I mean, I almost lost my number plates. I lost my roof. I didn't roll, so I don't know how my roof came off, but that was carnage. I mean, putting up Pro 2s and Pro 4s out there at the same time, it's awesome for the fans to watch, but being a Pro 2 out there is a definite disadvantage. When they catch back up from the yellow, it's like you're kind of at their mercy, but we're able to hold off a lot of them and to be the first Pro 2, so it's awesome to end the year on a high note, first Pro 2, and looking forward to next year already.
RJ, congratulations on overcoming the mayhem and salvaging your equipment the best you could. Great job out there tonight.
Two RJs, two great talents. Hey, for more on what's happening in 2015, check out lucasoiloffroad.com, and of course, let's interact on Facebook and Twitter.